Hi, hello, welcome back to the class, everyone. So, we are going to learn about the hard disk. It is a storage device. Hard disk, we use them to store data and information permanently. Okay, for an example, they say the hard disk provides permanent storage space for storing data and to installing all softwares. So if you want to install any software into your computer, or if you want to store any data and information in your computer, you go and use the storage device hard disk. So hard disk is used for these things. The hard disk is the main secondary storage device in a computer. Now you know two new information. One is hard disk provide permanent storage for what? Storage space for storing data and to install all software. Second information is the hard disk is the main secondary storage device in a computer because there is a main storage device. There is a main storage device. We call it as main memory. This is the secondary memory or the secondary storage device, right? So if someone asks you, what is the secondary storage device? You should say the secondary storage device of the computer is the hard disk. For an example, let's take two books, right? For an example, there is a 40-page exercise book and another 160-page exercise book. So 40-page exercise book's space is less than 160-page exercise book, isn't it? So likewise, the hard disk also have its own capacity or space. Okay. For an example, an exercise book with 160 pages provide more writing space than a book with 40 pages. Similarly, more data can be stored in a hard disk with a greater storage capacity. So here you should know that the hard disk also have, or the hard disk have different storage capacities. Okay, for an example, 1 TB hard disk is lesser than the storage space of 1 TB hard disk is lesser than 4 TB hard disk space, right? So TB means terabyte, 124 gigabyte, okay? 124 gigabyte is equal to 1 TB, terabyte. Understood? So this is the space. So understood about the hard disk now? So why the hard disk is used in a computer? It is used as the secondary storage and it is used to store data or install software permanently in the computer. It has different storage spaces we can use, and also I told you 1024 gigabyte is equal to 1 terabyte. Uh, I will check the hard disk capacity in my computer. Okay, right. So go to your desktop. I will show you. Go to your desktop. This is your desktop, and there is an icon, my computer or my PC. Double click it. A window will be opened. This is a window. In this window, see devices and drives. The category devices and drives, there are three drives, right? Local disk C, new volume D, new volume E. Okay. So does it mean I have three hard disks? No. This is one hard disk is separated into three. One hard disk separated into three. Okay. Right. So for an example, some of the students asked me, teacher, is it necessary to buy two books, 280 pages books? Isn't it okay to keep one book like 160 book and divide it into two? Ask me, right? Likewise, one hard disk, we can separate them as we want. one hard disk, we can separate them as we want. Okay, so here my hard disk is separated into 3 partitions. There are 3 partitions here. So if you count these partitions, this partition is equal to 199 GB, gigabyte. This partition is equal to 430 GB, gigabyte. This partition is equal to 300 gigabytes, GBs. So if you count them all together, it comes around 1 terabyte. Okay, so this 1 terabyte hard disk is uh, divided into 3 partitions. Now understood? Some people divide it into only 2 partitions and some people divide it into 3 partitions as you want. Okay, so this is how we check our hard disk capacity in our computer. Next one is the monitor display. Monitor display, everyone knows the monitor display, right? The display which you see now, that is the monitor display. So what is the work of the monitor display, or why this monitor display is used to output the data information which is inside the computer? So the main output device, it is a main output device, right? Just think, Filio, if you don't have a monitor, can you see the data and information which the computer provides you? No, right? So without the display or without the monitor, I can't see the data and information which are displayed by the computer. So the main output device of a computer is the monitor display. Another thing, most often a user interacts with the computer via its monitor or display. If you are interacting with the computer, you should have a display, right? Now, for an example, your smartphone. If you are using the smartphone, there should be a display, right? If not, you can't see it. Understood? So the display is the main output device of a computer. So there are monitor sizes. Now we learned there that the hard disk has its capacity. The processor has its capacity. Likewise, a monitor has its own size. Different sizes are there of the monitor. Right. So the monitor size, it depends. For an example, a wall clock is larger than a wristwatch, isn't it? So the time is easily seen on a wall clock because of its size. The wall clock size is huge and big. You can easily see the time in the clock watch, the wall clock, but in a watch or the wristwatch, you can't see the, what do you call this, time better than the wall clock. So there is a difference. Likewise, a large monitor size is useful in viewing a large picture. Okay. So the monitor size is measured in terms of its diagonal length in inches. So when you are measuring the size of a monitor or a TV, all these are displays, right? Television, monitor, your phone display, whatever the display. If you are measuring, you should measure it diagonal length in inches. You should measure it like this. Okay? Not measuring the length and the breadth. You should diagonally measure the length and say it in inches. Okay, understood everyone? There are 3 types of monitors and they are categorized according to their technologies. One or the first display which is made is CRT displays. They are cathode ray tube monitors. Next one is LCD monitors. We call it as liquid crystal display. Third one is LED, light emitting diode monitor, right? So there are 3 types of monitor and it is categorized according to the technology used, right? So CRT monitors are invented when the computers were invented in the first generations. Okay. So there are disadvantages using this CRT monitor. For that, they brought up these or invented the new technology monitors like LCD and LED monitors. Okay, fine. CRT monitors consume more electricity, that is a disadvantage, than the other two types. And also it is not good for eyes, the CRT monitors. Okay, it is harmful for the eyes also because it produces the picture through a tube. Okay, cathode ray tube. The CRT monitors uses a tube and it displays the picture using a ray. A ray will come out within this tube and the picture will be displayed. So these rays are not good for our eyes. Okay. Further, so electricity consumption also high for the CRT monitors. Further, they are heavier and occupy more space due to its size. So as you see here, the size of CRT monitors are very huge. So it consumes or occupies more space when comparing with the LCD monitors. Hence, lightweight LED and LCD monitors which consume less electricity are commonly used today. So nowadays, you know, every house, every home, every school, every place uses these LCD monitors instead of CRT monitors. So if your fathers and mothers used computer before this, before maybe your home you have this CRT monitors. Okay, so CRT monitors are not good. Also, if you are using the monitor like for a long time or for a long period, for an example I tell you, if you are using the computer daily for a long time like more than 8 hours like that, or 24 hours you are using the computer, it is better to take precautions. Okay, precautions mean like you can use spectacles for that. Now the main memory. Okay, so we learned about the secondary memory and we said that the secondary memory is the permanent memory of the computer. Permanently we store data and information and install software there. Main memory. What is a main memory? Okay, so let us consider a shelf which is used to keep books and bags when entering a library. For an example, imagine that your school is having a library and when you are entering the library, you should keep your books and bags outside in a shelf and enter the library. Understood? Students who enter the library keep their school bags in a compartment. So what is the compartment? The compartment is a storage place, okay, where you can store your books and bags separately. See, like that. They take their bags as they leave the library. So you store or you keep your bags and the books in the compartment and go inside the library. After leaving the library, you take your books and bags and come back to the place. Wherever the place you go, you take your bag and books and leave. Similarly, okay, the similar manners, data and instructions are stored temporarily in the main memory when the computer functions, right? For an example, just imagine you are playing a game using the computer or using the phone. For an example, okay, you are playing a game. Suddenly, your computer or your phone switches off. Okay, after it switches off, now again you are switching your computer or your phone on. Okay, that means you are making your computer functions again. So after your computer gets on, is the game which you were playing still there as it is when the computer or the phone got off? Yes or no? the same functions which you were doing before your computer or phone gets off. When you switch on the computer, are the softwares are in the same position, position in the computer when you on your computer? No, right? No. That means all the data and information erased. Once it get off, all the data and information in the computer gets off. Okay, for an example, we'll say you are playing a game, you are writing a document, you are listening to a music, you are watching a film, you were googling something. Okay, so there are 5 things you are doing in the computer while it is functioning, while the computer is in on. Suddenly a power cut happens. After the power cut, okay, the computer switched off. Now the power has came again. Now you on your computer, the computer ons, and it ons itself freshly, right? Free, nothing is there. Understood? Likewise, now when I enter data and information to the computer, first it goes to the main memory. First it goes to the main memory. For an example, I enter the letter S. First it goes to the main memory. Then only the main memory sends it to the CPU. Understood? So the main memory keeps all the things in its memory temporarily, not permanent. You can't retrieve it after you switch off your computers. Okay, when it is on, only it remembers everything. When you switch off and again you switch on the computer, it forgets each and everything which you were doing using the computer. Now understood? A bigger rack for storage in a library can hold more school bags. So here we can just store some of the school bags, right? But if we have a bigger rack, we can store more bags than this. Likewise, a higher capacity in the main memory stores more data and instruction. So the main memory also has its own capacities. Therefore, a computer with a higher capacity or higher main memory capacity is better. Now understood the main memory? So here you should know main memory is the memory which stores data and instruction temporarily in the computer when the computer functions. You should mention that one. Okay, main memory is a memory which stores the data and instruction temporarily when the computer functions. The main memory, the higher capacity in the main memory stores more data and instructions. So having a higher main memory capacity is better. Understood? So now we'll look. Okay. The capacity of the main memory is measured in units of bits. That means megabytes or gigabytes. Okay. Gigabyte or megabyte or terabyte, whatever. So 1024 MB is equal to 1 GB. 1024 GB is equal to 1 TB. Understood? 1024 MB is equal to 1 GB. 1024 GB is equal to 1 TB. Examine the capacity of the random access memory RAM in a few computers and compare them. So now here you can't compare these things, but I will show the capacity of my computer's RAM. Okay, so how to go for that? Go to your desktop. Okay, so this is the desktop. One click on the My PC and right click on the mouse. Go to properties. So See, it is very easy. This is the capacity of my RAM. Installed memory RAM is 8 GB. It is 8 GB. Correct. Understood. So whoever put the 8 GB is correct. Right. What is this Intel R Core TM i7 6500U CPU at 2? What is that? Last week we learned about the processor, right? So this is the processor. We learned the processor manufacturing company, isn't it? The processor's type, the processor's speed. So processor manufacturing company is Intel. R is not needed. Manufacturing company is Intel. The type of the processor is Core i7. These are not needed. Core i7. And the CPU is the speed of the processor. So central processing unit's speed is 2.50 gigahertz. This is the processor. Understood? This is the RAM. So the RAM is 8 GB. The RAM is 8 GB. So what is this? 64-bit operating system. We'll learn it later. Okay, this is the operating system of my computer. So I am having 64-bit operating system. Okay, there are 32-bit operating system. My one is 64-bit operating system. So what is the Windows edition of my computer? What is the operating system of my computer? Windows 10 Pro operating system. Understood? So you can see everything in here, whatever the computer is having. So here asking pen and touch. Any touch screen or any pen you are using in your computer? No. No pen, no touch input is available for this display. It is not touch screen. Understood? So see how easy to find all these things. Thank you for joining the class everyone and have a nice day.